I know everybody's thinking, how early are you taping this in the morning, and did Bob not sleep, and did he just stumble back to his room and do this? But I left the stumbling to Hendrick Motorsports for the week.
Hey race fans, welcome into another episode of Backseat Drivers. Here joining me in the backseat, we have our resident analyst, Mamba Smith. We also have our special guest from Fox Sports. We can't get him out of Sin City, Bob Pockrass, and I am Alex Weaver. Bob, you get any sleep over there on the West Coast?
I did get sleep on the West Coast. I know everybody's thinking, how early are you taping this in the morning, and did Bob not sleep, and did he just stumble back to his room and do this? But I left the stumbling to Hendrick Motorsports for the weekend.
Yeah,
how's that?
Ouch. Well, what happens in Vegas, we know stays in Vegas unless you are on the racetrack, and we're going to talk about it here and break down all of the racing action from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So first up, Denny Hamlin, second win of the playoffs. We were wondering when the 11 was going to show up, and guess what, guys? It was the playoffs, the perfect time. So, Bob, let's start with you. Is Denny, after these two wins in the playoffs, the new championship favorite?
No, I don't think so. I'm still going with Larson. Granted, some would say, well, Larson isn't the greatest at Phoenix, so how can you make him the championship favorite? I just think Larson has been the most consistent as far as leading laps. And, I look at the win column, and Larson has 6, and Denny's still far behind him with 2.
All right, Mamba, how do you feel about the 11?
I mean, we talked about it last week. I was like, yeah, they're getting there. Like, they're not there yet. I wouldn't put my money down on it. But they're starting to reach in my pockets and pull my money out a little bit. Chris Gabehart, I feel like, is such a good leader. I feel like he does a really good job keeping Denny really locked in and that whole team locked in. They didn't win a ton this year, but they're doing it when it matters, and that matters. So is he the favorite? No, not yet, but is the duo the favorite? Maybe.
All right, Mamba. So on the flip side of that, a follow-up question. Is the recent success of the 11 because of just the 11 team, or is it just the fact that Joe Gibbs Racing has maybe picked up a few tips and tricks?
I honestly think that the team as a whole hasn't changed much. I think they're still as good as they were at the beginning of the year. They're still competing for wins. Kyle Busch had a good bounce-back race, finishing third. But I think it's the 11. I think that Chris Gabehart has the 11 guys tuned in and ready to go. I think, forget about what's going on outside of the racetrack. He has Denny in the right state of mind on the racetrack, and that's what matters most, right? What you do on the track while you're performing under hot and pressure situations. And they're performing at the highest level right now. So it's hard to bet against them. I'm not fully betting with them, but I do think it's the 11 team, just how they're gelling right now, right at the right moment.
All right, Mamba, Vegas, you got to go all in or nothing. All right, Bob, what do you think about the 11? Is it the 11 team just individually, or is it Joe Gibbs Racing as a whole?
I would say it's Joe Gibbs Racing as a whole, because when I look at the standings, I see, when I look in the top 4, I see Denny Hamlin's in that mix, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr. They have 3 of the top 4 in the standings right now. And I just think that as a group, maybe they're not running any better, but I feel like that they're doing things to get the finishes sometimes maybe even better than what they're bringing to. I want to say what they're bringing to the track, but maybe during the race, what you think they would have, and where they would end up. You look at a guy like Kyle Busch yesterday. I mean, he had speed. He ran into the wall twice, and he still finishes. Still finishes third or in the top 5. So I look at that JGR organization as a whole and say, they're getting the job done.
Well, Bob, on your takeaways after the race, I might have done a little reading on your Twitter there, but you also mentioned that it was really Hendrick Motorsports' race to lose. Kyle Larson kind of unraveled, and the other 2, the 9, showed speed there at the end, but the other 2 with the 24 and the 48 were kind of abysmal at the end. So did Hendrick unravel, or was it just Joe Gibbs Racing being that good at Vegas?
Well, Hendrick unraveled with the call to pit, or the call not to pit early in the stage 2. when that caution came out, they had their reasons. They thought another caution would come out. They weren't sure they were able to make it on fuel. And then a chase vehicle ends up needing a tow. It ends up breaking down on the track and extending that caution. And now everybody is much better at making it on fuel among those who had pitted. So look, Cliff Daniels owned it. He said, hey, it was a terrible call. It was a blown call. And, and they'll move on. The thing is that they have strong cars, and this is not going to impact them at all. Chase Elliott obviously was able to rally a little bit better, finish second. And when then you look at Alex Bowman and William Byron, I don't know how you prevent those type of tire issues from happening when you have some cuts or something happens on pit stop.
Well, Mamba, we talked about it a little bit last week, but we said that it was Joe Gibbs Racing kind of figuring some things out and learning what everybody else was doing in the garage. So Vegas specifically, was it Hendrick unraveling, or Joe Gibbs Racing has really got it figured out?
I think it was just racing. I think the racing gods, the bug kind of got to Hendrick a little bit. They haven't really faltered, right? Like on a whole, they haven't had bad luck. They haven't had a whole lot of cut tires, albeit, Larson at Pocono when he was about to win another race, blows a tire in the last turn, but they haven't had a whole lot of that. So they haven't had to overcome a whole lot. Now, this week, they struggled there. They had to overcome, and we didn't really see it out of the five. I'm not really nervous. They're so fast. They're so good. Cliff Daniels has been making great calls all year long. Things happen. It happens. Now, the interesting part is the 9 did rally. And he's starting to flex his muscle a little bit on track and on pit road. So there's something to be said for that. Now the 48 and the 24, that's kind of been their season. It's kind of been up and down, a little bit of a roller coaster. I think the 24 is going to bounce back. I said it before earlier or last week. I thought that the 24 is going to, really rally and show good speed and make his way into the next round. So I'm not quitting on my man Willie B yet. Wild Bill.
Yeah, slick Wild Bill over there. Shows some glimpses of hope there at Vegas. Had a really fast 24. Mama, that brings me to my next point. You mentioned that you don't think the 24 will be knocked out and they'll make it to the round of 8. What about the 48 with Alex Bowman?
I was surprised by the 48. I was surprised what they were able to do, how much speed they brought, which, again, it's the playoffs. So if you're not bringing more speed than you were before, then you really shouldn't even leave for the racetrack. So they are doing that, but I just don't see it. And it's, again, with the inconsistency of their season, and it's kind of followed them into the playoffs. And I think evidently that'll be their demise unless, they pull some magic out of the hat.
Okay, Bob. So Mamba has one of the two being eliminated. What about you? Do the 24 and the 48, are there 4 Hendrick cars in the round of 8?
I don't know whether they can both make it. I didn't think they'd both be in the round of 12, so I'm certainly not going to think that they're both going to be in the round of 8. I can say, we talk about, are they going to battle back into their way in? And my feeling is that it's not going to be as much of what they do as much of what others do. I think they're going to need some others to have some trouble for them to get in, and I don't think they get it done.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see Talladega coming up, so it'll be a big test to see how all 4 cars at Hendrick Motorsports can work together. One of the cars that may be a little concerned, we mentioned that Joe Gibbs Racing is showing all this speed and doing really well, but the 20 is over there struggling. Bob, is it time to panic for Christopher Bell and the number 20?
I would say no, not time to panic, because, look, when it's your first time in the playoffs, it's time to learn. And, Christopher Bell would hate to hear me say, hey, don't worry about advancing. Just learn how to handle the playoffs on the Cup side. But that's what he should do. He should not panic. He should just take this experience for what it is and learn for 2022.
All right, you tell him that, because I don't know if I like it coming from anybody else. Mamba, time to panic for the 20?
Yeah, hit the button. Hit the button. It's like, look, I respect what my friend Bob is saying. It's his first time in the playoffs, and they want to race this year and learn. Bro, we're competitors. We want to win. We're out there competing to be the best. And I'm not going to take not making it all the way as good enough. You want to be a champion, you gotta act and race and be a champion. So it's time to hit the panic button, bro. The pressure's on the driver, the whole team. They gotta step it up. He's going to have to make some moves. Now he does have the Roval coming up, so that's good for him. He's got, Talladega, where we know anything can happen. So, I expect some fire coming out of that 20 pit.
Yeah, we'll see if he can turn it on. 2 races left to redeem himself in this round and make it to the next one. All right, we're going to do a little drive-through, a little rapid fire. Bob, as you know, these are a little bit quick hitter. So first one I'm asking you, 5 more laps at the end of Las Vegas. Does the 9 of Chase Elliott catch up to Denny Hamlin?
He catches up, but he don't pass him. Denny Hamlin is too good to get past with as good a car as he had at Vegas.
All right, Mamba. I will say, Bob, he didn't look like a 9-year-old there. Mamba, 5 more laps, yes or no for the 9?
It's so hard to say. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say 5 more laps. The 9 would have blown his doors off. I know that if he would have got to the bumper, if he could have, burst that bubble, as we call it, then, it would have been interesting to see what happened. I don't know if he would have got there or not. I'll just give Bob the W on this one and say, he wouldn't have got there.
A dub for Bob. We love it. All right, Bob, will we see eliminated playoff drivers fighting for the win, especially at places like Talladega where we have coming up this week?
Possibly. If I'm thinking of 2 drivers who could win, who are eliminated, it would be Ross Chastain and Tyler Reddick, because they've shown glimpses of times where they can run with the leaders. Everybody else, Chris Buescher was, in the mix there at Daytona. Could he possibly at Talladega? Maybe, but I don't see it.
Bob, that sounds like a no.
That's a no. I'll go no. Quick hit, no.
Mamba.
I think, yeah. I mean, I like the speed that the 8 is bringing. I think that Tyler he's due. I think he's put in the work. They've lost enough races that they put themselves in positions to win. So I think Tyler will get it done. We know Bubba's good at the super speedways. It's Talladega. I'm not going to count out the 23. They've been so fast around super speedways. So, but I think we'll see an outsider kind of break in there.
All right. This is an obvious yes to me, but Bob, do we see any of the playoff drivers get in a big wreck at Talladega and eliminate themselves from that race?
No, I don't, because I think right now, I think Bell's eliminated already. So if he gets in a wreck, I'm not going to count him. And everybody else, I think, could still have a shot at it. I think there's going to be enough who get wrecked that nobody will just be eliminated with no hope at the Roval.
All right. Mamba?
So this is the Bob Pockrass point system. I deem you already out, so if you wreck, it does not count. No, I don't know. It's such a wild card. I mean, probably, right? Like, you can't. This is racing. I can't sit here and be like, this is definitely gonna happen. I know I'm supposed to be giving hot takes here, but at the same time, it's Talladega, and that whole place is a hot take. So I'm gonna say, yeah, we'll probably see someone get knocked out because of Talladega and the craziness that happens there every single race.
All right, last one here in the drive-through. Which playoff drivers missed the round of 8? So, Bob, this is your early 4 out. Who you got? Oh,
well, I've already said Byron and Bowman, right? So that's got to be 2. Bell is 3. And if I'm Joey Logano, I'm worried. I'm dangerously close to that cut line. If you asked me a week ago, I'd say Blaney, but right now I'm going to go with Logano.
Oh, Mamba.
Mamba's like, how can you diss on Blaney? But I just had this feeling. I've just, the Fords, except for Talladega, are just not happening for me right now.
I mean, he's got 3 wins, but I'll just sip my tea over here, Bob. That's none of my business. I said Byron was going to make it in. Christopher Bell, I think, is out. I think the 2 other Penske cars, Logano and Keselowski, I think they're out. And I think Bowman is out as well.
All right. We'll see how it all shakes down. We have 2 more races. So this first one that's coming up this upcoming Sunday, I can't hype these races enough, especially when we get in the playoffs. Super speedways are just insane in themselves. And now you add in the intensity of you have a chance to click that ticket to the round of 8 and to go on to continue competing for a trophy there at the end of the season. So Talladega is going to be insane. Bob, you are a special guest here on the show, so you get the first pick. Who's in victory lane at the end of that madness on Sunday?
I'm going to go with Chase Elliott. I think he's going to delight the crowd there in Talladega. He's not getting pushed by Kevin Harvick for the win, all right? I'm not going to go that far, but I think Chase Elliott's going to get it done on Sunday.
All right, Mamba, who you got?
I'm going with JTG. I'm going with the team JTG. Look, they are strong at the super speedways, right? And everyone kind of is going to look at this and be like, oh, what are you talking about? Ricky Stenhouse, Ryan Preece, they're winners, period. And they know that this is their best shot to get one this year right now. Preece, I'm pretty sure his future isn't decided yet. Ricky wants to end on a high note. They've been fast at the super speedways all year. They've had some bad luck. And, with Ricky, it's feast or famine. He's either 1776, we are the champs, or we're on the hook. So I'm going with we're going to be the champs this week.
All right. Well, there's your hot take of the week. Mama, close your ears on this one. Bob, he loves when I take the obvious choice. I'm going with the 11, Denny Hamlin. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Mama.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone. She's been picking the 5 and the 9 for if there's 20. I don't know what race we're in, but all season.
Well, I took the 9, so she couldn't do that.
Well,
Thank
she's
you.
just good. Oh, no. That's not what she does. She'll double down with somebody else and they'll gang up on me. She look. No, I'm not letting you off she's jumping ship, Hendrick. Don't bring it. No Christmas cards. Not invited to the Christmas party. Alex Weaver is off the Hendrick family.
Not yet. I'll be back on for the Rebel. Don't you worry. All right. Bob, we appreciate you joining us. I know it's an early morning there in Vegas. So get some coffee. Head back home to the East Coast. We'll see you soon. Race fans, make sure and enjoy Talladega. It's going to be a good one. That's coming up this Sunday at 2 p.m. on NBC. And we'll see you right back here next week on another episode of Backseat Drivers.